Most people believe sexual energy is about desire. They reduce it to appetite, to the body reaching toward another body, to something that belongs in the bedroom and nowhere else. This is the first and most costly misunderstanding. What Jung identified as libido was never confined to the sexual act. It was the raw psychic force underneath everything: creativity, ambition, presence, the capacity to walk into a room and alter its atmosphere without speaking. Sexual energy, properly understood, is the engine of individuation itself. It is the part of you that refuses to be domesticated. And confidence, real confidence, not the performed kind, is what happens when that energy is no longer suppressed, leaked, or handed to someone else for safekeeping. The reason this connection remains invisible to most people is that the culture has split these two forces apart deliberately. You were taught that confidence comes from achievement, from external validation, from assembling enough evidence that you deserve to stand tall. And you were taught that sexual energy is dangerous, private, something to manage rather than harness. Jung saw through this division entirely. He understood that when a person suppresses their vital force, when they dampen their instinctual power to remain palatable, they do not become modest, they become hollow. The confidence drains because the source has been cut off. What you are left with is a performance of assurance built on nothing. You smile, you speak clearly, you maintain composure. But underneath there is a vacancy that others can feel even when they cannot name it. The connection between these two energies is not metaphorical. It is structural. When your sexual energy is integrated, not indulged, not repressed, but consciously held, it becomes the foundation of an unshakable self-possession that no external circumstance can dismantle. That is what most people sense, but never trace to its origin. The body knows first. You have felt this, even if you never had language for it. There are moments when something shifts inside your body, not arousal in the narrow sense, but a thickening of presence. Your posture changes without decision. Your voice drops half a register. Your eyes hold contact a beat longer than protocol permits. People respond before you have said anything meaningful, because what they are registering is not content. It is current. Jung observed that the psyche does not operate in isolation from the body. The unconscious speaks through somatic channels long before the conscious mind catches up. When your sexual energy flows without obstruction, without guilt, without shame, without the internal auditor telling you to tone it down, your body broadcasts a frequency that others read as confidence. But it is deeper than confidence. It is coherence. Your interior matches your exterior, and that absence of gap is what people experience as magnetism. This is why someone with no conventional advantages can walk into a room and restructure its hierarchy without a word. It is why someone with every credential can enter that same room and register as forgettable. Credentials live in the mind. Presence lives in the body. And the body is where sexual energy either flows or stagnates. Jung warned against the Western tendency to sever mind from body, intellect from instinct. That severance is not neutral. It is castration of the psyche. When you cut yourself off from your own life force because culture taught you it was dangerous, you do not become safer. You become dimmer. And the people around you feel the absence, even when they cannot name what is missing. What repression actually costs. Repression is not free. Jung made this clear: what you push into the shadow does not disappear. It accumulates interest. Sexual energy, when repressed, does not vanish. It converts. It becomes anxiety. It becomes chronic people-pleasing. It becomes the strange phenomenon of feeling exhausted despite having done nothing. The conversion is not metaphorical. It is structural. When libido cannot move forward into expression, it turns inward and corrodes. You feel it as self-doubt, as the persistent suspicion that you are not enough despite evidence to the contrary. You feel it as apologizing before you have finished your own sentence. This is not a personality flaw. It is hydraulics. The energy that should be fueling your presence is instead maintaining your cage. Jung's clinical work revealed a pattern modern psychology underestimates: patients who reconnected with their instinctual energy, who stopped moralizing their desires and began integrating them, did not become reckless. They became grounded. The fear that drives repression is the fantasy that without the cage, you would become monstrous. That fantasy itself is the shadow speaking. It tells you your energy is dangerous because keeping you afraid of yourself is the most efficient prison ever designed. You do not need confidence techniques. You need to stop hemorrhaging the force that confidence naturally rides on. Every workshop, Every affirmation, every framework for self-assurance addresses the symptom while ignoring the wound. The wound is not that you lack something. The wound is that you were taught to lock away the most potent thing you carry, and then told the resulting emptiness was your fault. It was never absence. It was theft, and you were both victim and unknowing accomplice. Integration, not exhibition. Here is where most people take a wrong turn. They hear that sexual energy feeds confidence and begin to perform it. They adopt postures, affect intensity, manufacture eye contact like a tactic. This is not integration. This is the persona wearing a different costume. Jung was precise. Individuation is not becoming someone new. It is the confrontation with everything you already are but have refused to acknowledge. Integrating sexual energy does not mean displaying it. It means no longer flinching from it internally. It means allowing desire without moralizing it. It means feeling your own power without the reflexive apology culture installed before you could question it. The integrated person does not perform confidence because confidence is no longer a separate category. It is what happens when energy moves without obstruction. There is no trying involved. Only the absence of blockage. This is what disturbs people. A person who is simply present, fully inhabiting their own body, unapologetic about the space they occupy, creates a mirror others cannot dismiss. Those who react most strongly to your grounded energy have buried their own most completely. Their discomfort is not your diagnosis to treat. It is information. But here is the inward turn you must not skip. Integration demands honesty about what your energy actually is. It is not only warmth and creativity, it is also dominance. It is hunger. It is the capacity to overwhelm. Jung did not sanitize the instincts. He insisted wholeness includes everything, the tender and the predatory, the nurturing and the consuming. If you integrate only the parts that feel noble, you have not individuated. You have built a more sophisticated persona, the weight of wholeness. So this is where you arrive, not at ease, but at clarity. The energy you were taught to suppress is the same energy that organizes your presence, steadies your voice, and gives your silence weight. Reclaiming it is not a weekend project. It is the central labor of individuation. The slow, unglamorous process of retrieving what was exiled and learning to carry it without apology. Jung wrote that the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. What he did not advertise is the cost. Wholeness has gravity. When you stop fragmenting yourself, when you allow your sexual energy, your aggression, your tenderness to coexist without hierarchy, you become heavier in the psychological sense. You take up more room. Not because you are performing largeness, but because you are no longer subtracting from yourself to make others comfortable. That weight changes every room you enter, every relationship you hold, every silence you let stretch. Some people will experience your wholeness as inspiration. Others will experience it as indictment. Both responses belong to them. Your only task is to stop mistaking their reaction for your identity. The confidence you are looking for is not a trait to develop. It is a current to restore. It was never missing. It was buried under every compromise you made with a world that preferred you dim. The unconscious does not forgive suppression. It waits, with the patience of something that knows it will outlast every excuse you have ever made. The unlived life is not merely regretted. It is physiologically carried, and the body never forgets what the mind refuses to live.